मैं अनुरोध करना चाहूँगी GCCI के प्रेसिडेंट श्री पथिक पटवारी और ऑफिस बेरर्स और साथ ही GCCI टेक्सटाइल टास्क फोर्स के चेयरमैन श्री सौरिन परीख जी से कि आप सब दीप प्रज्वलन करके इस कॉन्क्लेव का विधिवत प्रारंभ करवाएं। टेक्सटाइल फ्रेटर्निटी का ये अपने आप में बहुत बड़ा एवं अनूठा सम्मेलन और जिसमें भाग लेने पधारे आप सभी का हम फिर एक बार स्वागत करते हैं और शुरुआत करते हैं दीप प्रज्वलन से आज के इस मेगा कॉन्क्लेव का। I would request Mr. Pathik Patwari, President GCCI, along with office bearers, and Mr. Saurin Parikh, Chairman Textile Task Force GCCI, to please light the lamp and make this event start. Shubham karotu kalyanam arogyam dhana sampada शत्रु बुद्धि विनाशाय दीप ज्योति नमोस्तुते दीप ज्योति नमोस्तुते दीप ज्योति नमोस्तुते। वस्त्र उद्योग से जुड़े हम सब के लिए अत्यंत महत्वपूर्ण ऐसी ये कॉन्क्लेव और जिसका विधिवत प्रारंभ हो चुका है। आइए जोरदार तालियों के साथ एक नई ऊर्जा के साथ हम सब भी इस कार्यक्रम के शुभारंभ की ये क्षण को आनंद और गर्व से इसमें जुड़ते हैं। As you all know, textiles are a reflection of our culture and a celebration of the human experience. They tell us the story of our past and shape the future of our world. और आप सभी ने ही जो कि भारत के टेक्सटाइल इंडस्ट्री के दिग्गज हैं, उन्होंने ये बात को बहुत अच्छी तरह से समझा है और आपके प्रयत्नों ने ही इस इंडस्ट्री को यहाँ तक पहुँचाया है। आज इस कॉन्क्लेव में ऐसे ही कुछ दिग्गज लोग हैं जो अपनी बात यहाँ पर हम सब के सामने रखेंगे। सो मूविंग टुवर्ड्स आवर नेक्स्ट स्पीकर जो है डॉक्टर शरद कुमार शराफ, टेक्नोक्राफ्ट ग्रुप के चेयरमैन हैं और मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर। 1972 में मामूली बजट से शुरू हुई ये लाइट इंजीनियरिंग प्रिसीजन प्रोडक्ट्स कंपनी आज एक मल्टी प्रोडक्ट मल्टीनेशनल कॉरपोरेट एंटिटी बन चुकी है, जिसका श्रेय डॉक्टर शरद कुमार के काबिल नेतृत्व को जाता है। डॉक्टर शरद कुमार IIT बॉम्बे और IIT जम्मू के बोर्ड ऑफ गवर्नर्स के चेयरमैन हैं। साथ ही आप बॉम्बे टेक्सटाइल रिसर्च एसोसिएशन के चेयरमैन, कन्फेडरेशन ऑफ एक्सपोर्टिंग यूनिट्स के प्रेसिडेंट और कॉटन एसोसिएशन ऑफ इंडिया के डायरेक्टर जैसे कई महत्वपूर्ण स्थानों पर से मार्गदर्शन दे रहे हैं। आज हमारे लिए ये आनंद का विषय है कि आज हमारे बीच डॉक्टर शरद कुमार शराफ अपने विचारों को प्रकट करने के लिए पधारे हैं। मैं बड़े आदर के साथ आपको मंच पर आमंत्रित करना चाहूँगी डॉक्टर शरद कुमार शराफ को। तालियों के साथ हम स्वागत करते हैं और मैं विनम्र अनुरोध करूँगी भरत पटेल और अंजुल राजपूत को कि वे कृपया मंच पर पधारें और डॉक्टर शरद शराफ जी का स्वागत सम्मान करें। भरत पटेल और अंजुल राजपूत, बहुत बहुत स्वागत सर, नमस्कार। GCCI टेक्सटाइल टास्क फोर्स बेहद गर्व महसूस करता है आप जैसे दिग्गजों का हमें मार्गदर्शन मिलने वाला है। आप सबकी उपस्थिति के लिए भी हमें फिर एक बार आपका धन्यवाद करते हैं और स्वागत करते हैं। थैंक यू सो मच। So over to you, sir, Dr. Sharad Sharaf ji.
Good afternoon, everyone. Patwari ji, President GCCI, office bearers of GCCI, and captains of industry present in the house. Before I start, I must confess and agree that Mr. Prashant Ji Agarwal has presented a very knowledgeable, learned, and very inspiring presentation. He has set the bar so high that I am going to find it very difficult and loss of words to match with his expertise. But all the same, I am going to make a try. The next observation I want to make is I am also very impressed with the spun yarn garland that I got. I am going to keep this as a souvenir in my office because I am also a yarn spinner. As a token or as an icon to consider that with this garland, the yarn spinning industry will go up, the market will develop, at least to the extent that we can promote now spun yarn garlands instead of floral bouquets and garlands which last only for a day at the most or 2 days at the most, while this is going to be with me for years together. With these two observations, I am grateful to GCCI for giving me this opportunity to stand before you and share some of my thoughts. In fact, having spent my formative years in my schooling in Ahmedabad, I have developed a special affinity for this city, and I am always looking forward to come over whenever there is an opportunity. So it took me less than a minute to confirm my coming here when I was invited by Sri Rahul Bhai a few weeks back. I am indeed pleased to note that GCCI has organized Textile Leadership Conclave 2023. It could not have been held at a better time. The textile industry is passing through a very challenging time and it needs leaders to pull it through the present challenges. We are all aware that in 20th century, a large number of textile mills were established in Ahmedabad and other towns of Gujarat by leaders like Kasturbai Lal Bhai or Ambalal Sarabhai and others. By mid-20th century, Ahmedabad was called Manchester of India. It had developed an excellent ecosystem of textile industry consisting of entire supply chain from cultivation of cotton to finished fabrics and apparels. The industrialization of Gujarat was developed around the textile industry. Gujarat produced a large number of industrial leaders in textile and allied industry. Since then, textile industry has undergone a revolutionary change in last 50 years. The integrated textile mills have spawned into separate spinning, weaving, processing, and garmenting units. This can be seen as a process of distribution of wealth, or it has led to development of large number of entrepreneurs and leaders. This is a time when we need a fresh wave of leaders in textile industry. The present event will certainly be very inspiring and thought-provoking. I would now like to put before you my thought based on some of my experiences. We had already, friends, you have already heard one of the most learned speaker, and there are going to be phenomenally knowledgeable, expert doyens of textile industry following me. So I would like to speak a little bit away from the mainstream textile subject. I would like to talk about leadership. leadership in all walks of life. Even though I am not born in Gujarat, almost 15 years of my schooling in St. Xavier's High School have shaped my career and have left an indelible memory of events that I was witness to or that I participated in. Every individual, all of us, have turning points in life where the event takes us in a direction that is meant for us. It is like an invisible hand that holds us and guides us to our destiny. Had it not been several chance events which became turning points in my life, I would not have been standing before you today. The power of chance events in shaping and directing one's life is immense. To start with, let me give you a few examples of my school days. I loved playing cricket and desperately wanted to be in our school cricket team. But my peers and colleagues did not think I was fit as a player. Initially, I was disappointed, little bit frustrated, but I decided to concentrate on my studies and make my mark in the scholastic career. I developed the habit of curiosity and got interested in science and technology. I would go out and borrow books from Maneklal Jethalal library next to the town hall and voraciously read them. As a result, I stood 7th in my SSC exam, which would not have been possible if I had taken up cricket as my career. You can see here that one can turn adversity into opportunity. Here I am reminded of story of our past president, APJ Abdul Kalam. Maybe some of you have already heard about it, but please bear with me. As a youngster, Abdul Kalam wanted to be a pilot, and he applied for a job in the Air Force and in the military academy. He could not get there. He could not get a decent job. He was disappointed, frustrated, and at the end of the day, he thought of committing suicide. He went to Rishikesh to drown in river Ganga. When he reached there, again, a great chance, he met a sage, a saint, a Hindu monk, who came and he asked, "Young man, what are you doing? Why are you doing this?" And Abdul Kalam told him the sadness of his life, the failures that he has gone through, and so on. And he said, "There's no sense my living anymore." The sage, being a learned person what he was, he said, "Son, God wants you to do far more bigger and important things than becoming a mere pilot." You see, that was a turning point in the life of Abdul Kalam. He went on to become a great scientist and President of India. My next turning point came when I got an opportunity to write examination papers for a girl who was 1 year senior to me. She was sick, suffering from appendicitis, and could not write her paper, so she needed some writer, and I was recommended by our principal. I studied hard and wanted her to pass with distinction, which she did. In the process, I was rewarded by God with an admission to IIT Bombay. I didn't attend any coaching class. I made no further studies, special studies for getting into IIT or appear in the examination. But what I did for writing for this girl was good enough. As I think in the hindsight, if I did not put in hard work without any expectation of reward, I probably would not have got admission into IIT Bombay. I stood 62nd in All India rank. It is my experience and firm belief, friends, that the good and bad deeds are suitably rewarded in this lifetime itself. As a good Hindu, we believe in karma, and each karma at every point of life has a positive or negative reward depending on the type of karma. So what is karma? Ultimately, karma is this moment. At present, you are sitting here listening to me. Some of you may listen to me and understand what I am saying and use some ideas that I put forth. Others may find my talk boring and sitting here a waste of time. Yet others may use this time to take a small nap. It is my belief that all these groups will have their own set of rewards. I hope all of you remember Newton's third law of motion. Each action and reaction are equal and opposite. Here, karma is the action and the reward is the reaction. Let us go forward. I left Ahmedabad in June 1964 as a young boy of 17 years. Till that day, I had never traveled alone in the train. I had no experience of staying in a hostel with 300 other young strangers who were equally lost as I was. IIT Bombay gets over 100 inches of rains in the monsoon, which was very unusual for me. And even walking on the road from hostel to our classroom was an arduous task. During the weekends, I found it cheaper to come to Ahmedabad and be with my friends than to go to South Bombay and spend time by seeing movies and restaurant. And believe me, this was true, because I was entitled to 50% discount in the train, and the second class fare was all that I could, the second class was all that I could afford, or all that ticket I could get, because in those days, getting a first class reservation was out of question. Not only it was not available, but it was also not affordable. For 5 years, I was doing my karma diligently, and the reward was a great education from a great institute and a highly recognized B.Tech degree. As I said, good karma is always rewarded, and it is one of the criteria for making a true leader. After I graduated from IIT Bombay in 1969, I was looking for some business opportunities. Now, this is where a lot of our youngsters face similar situation. Several options came to my mind, but due to some reason or other, I did not pursue them until one of my relatives showed me a drum closure, which was a monopoly of an American company at that point of time. Friends, I am sure you must have seen a 200-liter steel barrel in which lubricants and liquid chemicals are stored. In this barrel, there are two diametrically opposite closures, screwed closures. One is a cap, the other is the housing in which this cap is screwed in. My relative said, if you make this, it could be a very good business. I did not do any market study, nor did I have any technology with me. It appeared to me to be a simple light engineering product. All I had that point of time was enormous amount of self-confidence and desire to make a mark in my life, and an IIT degree to help me out. In fact, I had nothing to lose because I didn't have anything to start with. After about 1 year of research, I was almost ready to give up and was on the verge of going bankrupt. Sometimes I thought of giving up, but my inner voice kept me going till I and my brother succeeded in cracking the recipe of the product. Incidentally, my younger brother is also a first-class mechanical engineer from IIT Bombay. It was a very complex geometry. It still is a very complex geometry. It has all the engineering operations that you can think of or what normally any workshop would have. We found, and now this is very important, we found that it is not the manufacturing process which is important, but the characteristics of the end product is relevant. The end product is the target or the goal, while there could be several manufacturing processes that are like several paths to reach that goal or target. By understanding the heart of the product, the manufacturing process becomes easy, and we could finally succeed in producing a world-class product that is being exported to over 60 countries worldwide. And our brand name now is the most popular brand across the world. One can say the same thing even for spinning yarn, for example. You have yarn, you have its characteristics, and there could be multiple ways, multiple parameters through which you could make that quality of yarn. The manufacturing process of this particular product, as I mentioned, is so difficult that even till today, there are only two successful manufacturers in the world. One, that American company who had actually invented this product, and the other, ourselves. The fact that we could complete our research for the solution is a good karma, and the reward was multifold. If we had given up halfway, it would have been a bad karma, and I do not know where we would have been today, but for sure, I would not have been standing before you today. In other words, the karma guides you to a turning point where you need to take a correct directions without which you could face a disaster. There is a similar story of Infosys, which Narayan Murthy mentions in some of his speeches or presentations. As you all know, they started in mid-80s. By 1990, they were still struggling, finding it very difficult to make two ends meet. They got an offer from someone who wanted to buy them out for $1 million. Out of 7, the 5 promoters met together in a room to discuss this wonderful opportunity that they had. 4 out of the 5 agreed that yes, we should cash out. It's a very good opportunity. We are not getting anywhere. Only Narayan Murthy then said, no, I am going to run Infosys. I am going to be there, come what may. And if you guys want to cash out, I am here to buy you out. He didn't have a penny in the pocket, but he had faith in himself and in his company. The friends, of course, continued, and in 10-year period, they converted Infosys into a $3 billion, one of the most successful IT company in the world. So you see, one needs a vision so large that you cannot run out of work for the rest of your life. Infosys continues even today. A leader is not the one who takes an easy way out. And Narayan Murthy has shown this to us. Let me also mention to you about one great management guru, Andy Grove, the founder of Intel. Intel, as you know, is a chip inside most of the laptops and computers. Andy Grove has explained the concept of turning points in his book called Only Paranoid Survive. And I recommend all of you to read this book. It is a kind of textbook for the trainees in IBM, where, of course, Andy Grove also worked. He describes the turning point as an inflection point. In geometry, inflection point is a point where a tangent meets a circle. A tangent is a straight line that touches the circle, and that touching point is called the inflection point. Now imagine the circle is your life and the tangent is the path you are taking. The moment that path touches a particular point in your life, you can either go straight or left or right. You have to decide on the correct direction which you need to take. If you select the right direction after proper logical thinking with a peaceful mind, you are bound to succeed and get yourself converted into a great leader. In my case, the turning point was the chance meeting with my relative. I could have rejected or deferred his suggestion, but I took a bold decision and am standing in front of you today. During my journey of 50 years, we faced many challenges. Pardon me if I am sermonizing, but at my age, this is all I can do and share. Some of the difficulties and challenges seemed unsurmountable. The government rules and regulations were suffocating. There was virtually no infrastructure, no mobiles, no emails, but we kept going with strength and vigor. There were times when I thought of giving up, but looking ahead, I always saw light at the end of the tunnel. During my stay in Ahmedabad, there was a saying, I'm sure most of you know about this, that if you can drive a car through the poles of Ahmedabad, you can drive anywhere in the world. I can say the same thing. If you can successfully put up an industry or in India, you can put up industry successfully anywhere in the world. This is why we have so many successful entrepreneurs scattered in the world. Let me tell you, we only know the tip of the iceberg, but we have our entrepreneurs in, I would think, almost 50 countries worldwide. A lot of them do not want to disclose their identity or share that they are there. And we also are operating a very successful industrial venture in China. While we talk of Chinese dragon and we are threatened by China and all this, but I'm very happy to share with you that our factory is very successful, one of the best known factory in that line of drum closures that we are there, and very well respected in the industry. I'm not here to tell you my whole life story. For this, you can read my book, Engineering Karma, but I'm using my own experiences as an example of how turning points and events can shape our life. In this conclave, we are talking about leadership. From the numerous examples of leaders like Mahatma Gandhi, Abraham Lincoln, our own Prime Minister Narendra Modi, we can see that they all passed through challenging times. They resolved obstacles with their positive thinking, overcame hurdles along the way. Here, let me mention a small story that I heard from a Jewish rabbi. Rabbi is a priest in Chicago. He mentioned very rightly that if you take two electric wires, a positive and negative wire, and touch them, there would be spark, maybe a loud noise, and it would not be a very good experience. But if you take the two wires, put them in a glass container, and have a resistance in between, you will have a soft light glow. It's a lamp, it's an electric bulb. So you see, resistance between the two wires gives you a soft light, and similarly, the hurdles that we face, the challenges that we face, the difficulties that we face are nothing but the resistance, and if they were not there, life would be very boring and monotonous. Similarly, we have example of Bhagwan Buddha, which all of you know about it. There is no need to talk about it. Those who give up facing a difficult situation are the losers without knowing it. Only those who accept challenges and not give up till they achieve the goals are qualified as leaders. A leader must have fire in his belly. I must also share with you the reasons of our industrial success. This is, friends, is very important message to all those who are in industry. Hard work, dedication, focus, etc. are all common things that are present in all entrepreneurs, without which they would not have been there. What we did differently was investment in technology. We formed a team of about 30 designers and engineers, even when we were struggling to make two ends meet, and upgraded our manufacturing process and machines continuously. And we continue to do that for last 40 years. We have developed innovative solutions for automation. Every year we increase production and reduce manpower. This is unique in Indian industry. Most of our entrepreneurs shy away from investing in cutting-edge technology and many times untried technology. I would say that one single reason for our success in last 50 years is our commitment to research and development, and I sincerely request all those present here who are in industry to consider this aspect of investing in technology. I must also share that our obsession with technology stems from our education in IIT Bombay for both me and my brother. Incidentally, IIT education system instills in the students the desire to innovate. They not only teach in the classrooms, but conditions are created where the students are made to think and innovate. IIT Bombay excels in fundamental and translational research. By translational research, I mean research that can be converted into commercial product, commercialization of research. There is Tinkerer's Lab, where students come with an idea and go out with a product. There is a very well equipped incubation center, and the where startups and of students, ex-student alumni and faculty are given free office space and facility to use IIT labs and consultation with the experts. IIT Bombay also has a very active and vibrant research park. For all of you, those who are in industry, this again is a very important piece of information. In the research park of IIT, they give you free office space depending on your requirement and facility to use their laboratories, the research scholars, and the experts that are available. I will be happy to connect any one of you who could be interested in taking part in the research park of IIT, and I can talk more about it later on when we complete this event. I now come to the last leg of my presentation before you. In 2003, Bill Gates declared in an address to IIT alumni in San Francisco that the first decade of 21st century, that means from 2000 to 2010, is a digital decade. We all know that decade, even though time-wise it has ended, but the growth of digital technology, evolution of digital technology continues till now. Till 2000, we used to talk about information technology. We said IT. Everybody talks about IT. Now, it is digital technology, which includes AI, IoT, machine learning, robotics, etc. These are higher level technologies that use information technology as one component. Year on year, we are seeing new smart devices, new smart products, smart watches, smartphones, smart machines, smart homes, smart cities, and so on. Sometimes I wonder why no one talks about smart persons. We will certainly become dumb compared to the smartness of the gadgets around us if we do not continuously upgrade ourselves to keep abreast with the smartness of the gadgets that we use. Digital technology will revolutionize our way of working and living. Some people also call it a disruptive technology because it is going to disrupt our way of living. 18th century gave us industrial revolution. Second half of 20th century gave us computer revolution. And now, 21st century, we have digital revolution. And the leader, I always end up with the leader. The leader has to think ahead of his time and be prepared for the changing times. Before I end, let me tell you that our past was glorious, our present is shining, and our future is bright. This is not a simple rhetoric, but a fact based on figures and on the basis of what initiatives our government is taking. Construction of highways, metro trains in all important cities, bullet train between Ahmedabad and Mumbai, industrial schemes like product-linked incentive scheme, etc. All the reasons for ensuring a bright future. Prudent government policies have ensured a stable economy in the face of turbulent times. I could give you several examples of how our economy remained stable and strong in spite of various downturn and recessions that the world faced. This has resulted also in our spectacular growth in foreign trade, increase in our GDP to over $3 trillion. We are witness to a changing India, a revolutionizing India. Let us be all part of this revolution. I thank you all for your patient listening and look forward to listen to the doyens of textile industry. Thank you very much.